and we're here to share our vision of a better world. Have you ever felt that there was no easy way to impact societal issues like homelessness, poverty, pollution, disaster relief, hunger? Maybe you feel too busy, that there are too many options, that your contribution is just a drop in the bucket. We know that there are a lot of issues you care about. Can you impact all of them? We believe that you can. What feels like a personal shortcoming is often a problem with the system. Imagine that by answering Imagine that by answering a few questions about your core beliefs, you would gain insights into your values, providing value the first time you use the site. We created a beliefs-based survey based on Jonathan Haidt's academic research. From it, you will have specific actions personalized just for you, based on what other people with values like yours are doing. You'll finally have an easy way to do good, no matter how busy you are. You'll find the number of options displayed to be just right. And you'll no longer feel like your contribution is just a drop in the bucket. If you're like the 12 people that we talked to, you want to live by your values, to make things better, to help people, to improve your community, to feel that you've made a difference, to make the world better. Our main mission is to affect change in the world. In order to do that, we need to make money. We talked to 7 nonprofit organizations, and they told us that they can't afford to do general, broad-based marketing. They need higher success rates and a more targeted user base. Our users serve soup. They sign petitions. They walk to cure cancer. They give to food drives. These are the people that nonprofits want to tap into. We have 3 revenue streams: crowdsourced funding, sponsored results, and subscriptions. Revenue stream 1. Organizations can create fundraising actions so that people can give money to them. Users give money, nonprofits receive money, and we take a cut. If no one gives to their cause, they don't have to pay. We're a risk-free, minimal cost option, even before we hit mass adoption. We talked to 7 nonprofits who all said that they'd be willing to try our crowdsourced funding option in order to increase their fundraising user base. Revenue stream 2. Nonprofits can promote events, actions, and search results for increased visibility. People are familiar with this concept from places like Google and Facebook. To start, we plan to stick with the familiar $1 for 1,000 impressions model. Revenue stream 3. We offer a subscription model where nonprofits pay a monthly fee based on their size and usage. This gives them access to sponsored actions and allows them to tap into a rich data stream. The types of events that are most successful, who is likely to take a given action, and whether something like purchasing a rain barrel is likely to predict that a user will donate to a food drive down the road. We mentioned that mass adoption isn't necessary for us to make some money. But like with every social network, the more users, the bigger the impact you can have, and the more money you can make. Our customer acquisition model is very simple. Leverage social media in order to find people who care about what we care about. We'll use TweetAdder to find targeted Twitter users. We'll create a Facebook page. We'll create targeted Facebook ads. We'll target bloggers and give them posts so that they can talk about the work that we're doing. So why us? A number of other sites are trying to get you to contribute in various ways. Facebook causes feels like spam. Idealist.org Idealist.org doesn't have any of the solutions that people care about. Not ideal. Volunteer Match, Yahoo circa 1996. United Way won't even use it. Enough said. Others care about location, we care about curation. We start by learning about you, helping you gain insights about your values, and turning them into actions. We'll help you connect to people, discover how you can make a difference, and build habits that change the world.
How many people do you think you need to run this?
Well, one thing that we think is different about our platform than other platforms is that the first user will still have value, will get value out of it. So one way is by the beliefs quiz that we talked about. So we're going to give that person back some insights into their beliefs based on research that's proven by John Haidt's team, who I've already been in contact with. So we can get some users on, and we think that we can get some nonprofits to work with us through our crowdsourced funding model, even without a lot of users on it. I mean, how many people do we need in order to actually have it take off and have sponsored ads work? I'm not sure. That's research we'd have to do. Any of you have information?
I can add something to that as well. I was just going to say that this is based off of an application called Lift, which is an individual goal setting application, which one-on-one you take the app, you actually set down a goal, and you actually increment, and daily or weekly you click it. So the application itself is based around this idea so that you can set individual goals, that you can repeat certain things, such as donate a can or put a can aside so you can donate later. So the application by itself stands and has value to any individual person who wants to set an individual goal that has to be targeted at something meaningful, which I feel like is what's missing from Lyft. And it also allows you to be social about this and allow people to actually respond and give you props for doing certain things, and just have an interesting way of personally setting goals for yourself. Another great example is actually, I think there's something about annually you can stop and take your carbon footprint, for instance. So there's all kinds of these sporadic things that you want to do that if it was just a matter of having the focus and something to remind you, could be really compelling.
So I am a part of a bunch of Facebook groups that are already doing some of the homelessness and the community. Why should I switch to use your product instead of continuing to use what?
So right now you're seeing just the way that search began as index search, and then shortly thereafter there was an explosion of targeted searches. Like, for example, you search for restaurants on Yelp rather than searching for restaurants on Google, because you know you're going to find a lot more content related to restaurants in a restaurant targeted search. The same thing is happening currently in social networks. So Facebook kind of blew social wide open, and they're what would be called like a general social network, because you can kind of do everything on them. But then, 10 years later, we see the explosion of Instagram. Pinterest has 11 million users. Thumb is a new social network that's based solely on voting things up and down. And Lyft, which is a social network just based on doing things like, habit building. So we're in the same space of being a targeted social network. We think by being targeted, we can offer not just content, but also curation that something like Facebook can't provide, because it's just this kind of milieu of everything going on in one place.
So based on the actions that you actually take, and that friends and people who are like you based on values actually take, you'll get a curated set of recommendations or suggestions on actions that's different than what you would get from something like a Facebook group.
But they would have to pay to be on your app, or I would have to.
Users don't pay.
No, users do not.
So this is a for-profit endeavor then?
Correct.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. We were very inspired by a TED Talk that you should all watch. We can tweet it out after this, but it's very cool about how you can
Dan
make
Pallotta.
a lot of good. Dan Pallotta's TED Talk, how you can do a lot of good by making a lot of money. Or make a lot of money while doing a lot of good.
I'm curious with the front-end questionnaire or or essentially the way you criterionize people. I mean, it's interesting me in that you, in a sort of a sneaky way, serve up an unbelievable profile potentially for people to buy ads against, or these nonprofits to buy profiles. So how in depth is that? I mean, is this just a concept at this point, or is this something that's actually developed?
Height survey is developed and researched and academically proven to predict political policy beliefs.